There's so many ways to be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready.
Hey cuties, and welcome back to another CC haul. Today I have over 100 new CC items for you. Of course, you can find links to everything in the description down below. I also added categories and numbers again to this video to make things a little bit more easy. Of course, there's also CC for both male and female sims, even though today there is a lot more for your female sims. So if you're still on the lookout for more male CC, I'll make sure to list two playlists right now so you can find more male CC there if that is what you're looking for, because I know male CC is like notoriously hard to find. But without further ado, let's get straight into this. You know the drill by now. Grab a snack, grab a drink, grab whatever you need to be comfy for the next few minutes and just sit back, relax. Let's talk about life. You know, I am extremely excited to share this CC haul today because there's some really cute CC items. I also love the skin details that I just showed off. I don't know, they're just so pretty and they really inspired me to create a Disney themed sim at some point. This year is very full with like videos I have planned, but possibly next year, you know, keep your eyes peeled for a Disney creator sim video. I don't know, just like that whole pack that I got from, I think they're called Northern Siberia Winds, if I remember correctly. They put out like a whole CC pack that was Disney themed and it just looked so cute, and that skin overlay is everything. It's just so gorgeous. I think the eyes are not my favorites. I feel like I might stick to my own personal faves. It's so weird, like I downloaded my eye replacement ages ago, like the default eyes that I use. I've downloaded maybe like 2 years ago and I still have not found any that I like better. I do have a few more in my game just to have the option, but I honestly just gravitate towards the same ones that I have been using for ages because they're just everything. I do still get asked about them as well, so you know, it's not just me that thinks they're gorgeous. Apparently there's a lot of other people who also like them. Also, just pointing this out real quick as well, I'm not going to upload any of my CC in a zip file. I did get a few more questions recently about that. It's against CC creators TOUs to re-upload their CC, so of course I want to respect that and, you know, stick to it. So that's not what we're gonna do. Otherwise, honestly, these CC hauls would take me probably like 80% less time if I was able to just upload it all in a zip file. But honestly, if I was to watch other people's CC hauls, I would prefer to just pick and choose what I want rather than everything. I also often like show off all of the CC I got unless I download something and it looks very bad in game and I'm not going to show it off, but I usually show off everything that I get that is new, and then afterwards I often go in and delete things that aren't like my personal style or that I already have something similar in the game that I like better, just to not like overwhelm my game with too much CC. So you know, even I with my own CC hauls go in and like pick and choose what I want to keep. And if you would download a zip file of all of the CC that I get all the time, you'd end up with like hundreds of gigabytes of custom content, and I'm sure most of our PCs cannot handle that much CC anyways. But yeah, talking about getting rid of CC, I currently have way too much CC in my game. I haven't been very strict about sorting through my CC file a lot, and also I recently got into build CC as well. I think like maybe in the summertime, I feel like I downloaded my first few items of build and buy CC. I definitely had a phase when The Sims first came out where I was still an alpha girly. I know I know, like it's different time back then. Actually, like when The Sims first came out, Max's Match wasn't even a thing until like further down the road of the CC world. Like the first few CC items were all pretty much alpha. I think it's kind of just because they went off of the style that we had in The Sims 3 where it was like supposed to be a bit more realistic. So I think CC creators just kind of adapted to that, and then Max's Match came out like a bit later, so like the idea to make CC match the current art style of the game, I guess, and I appreciate that. I love it so much. I think it looks so cute. I don't even know if I would ever want another Sims game that looks super realistic, because to me this cartoony style is way more timeless. Honestly, like if you look back at the games that were trying to be realistic, it's hard to play them from today's perspective because you're like, oh my god, these graphics are like the worst. But back then obviously they were amazing. And I think with like a very stylized game like The Sims 4 is, where it's very cartoony, a lot of like sharp edges, I feel like even a few years down the line it would still hold up just because it is so stylized. You know, it's not trying to be super realistic and the style can't really get outdated, I guess. It's the same with like pixel graphics and games. I love pixelated games just because they look so cute, and it is just so stylized that it's like never getting old really, because you know that's what it intended to be. It never intended to be super realistic, and I think that just makes the game, I don't know, playable forever. Even though I'm like gonna be the first person, if The Sims 5 comes out, if it's a good game, if it's better than The Sims 4, I am the first one to drop The Sims 4, honestly. I have so many packs for it, I have so much CC for it, but the gameplay for me is not it and never really has been it. The first few months or even years, honestly, when The Sims 4 first came out, I always gravitated back to The Sims 3 days, just because for me, gameplay wise, it's so much better than The Sims 4. And going from The Sims 3 to The Sims 4 was really hard because you kind of, I remember being so excited because it's been like, I don't know, I think The Sims 3 was out for like 5 years or something until The Sims 4 came out, and I was just so excited to have a new game. You know, the graphics looked great compared to The Sims 4, but then there was so many disappointments, like toddlers not being in the base game at first, pools not being in the base game at first, the world not being open, so having loading screens again, that I just went in and I was like, why am I here? Like this is not an improvement apart from like obviously the graphics being better. I just didn't feel it. And also I remember not really liking Create a Sim without any custom content. I thought it was quite dull and there were very few items that you could choose from. I just remember the game being very boring, and the idea of like babies aging up to kids straight away rather than to toddlers was just so weird to me, because I think the last time we had that was in the first ever Sims game. So I think in The Sims 2 there was already toddlers, so it just felt like such a step back. I was like, I don't understand this, I'm just gonna go back to The Sims 3. But then obviously a lot more CC came out, and then I fell in love with creating Sims in The Sims 4. It's obviously way easier how you can just like drag everything. I think that was like a great idea to do and change Create a Sim in that way, because in previous games, if you didn't know, you could always just like use different scales. So there would be like a nose size scale, so you could, you know, change it in between those scales, but it was very hard to really achieve what you wanted to. It wasn't quite that easy as it is in The Sims 4, and definitely not as like versatile. And I also remember body types, like in The Sims 4 I feel like the biggest Sims still aren't really that big, but in The Sims 3 you could really not make any bigger Sims. Like the bigger Sims just looked like just, I don't know, not even, you know, any different than the Sims 4 regular Sims. It was just a bit bizarre because they usually had like these few different body types you could choose from, and you could really not change like the curves either. You know, you couldn't really drag out the hips or anything. It was just, I believe if I remember correctly, you could change like muscle mass and fat mass and then also boobs, and I don't remember being able to change anything else outside those three things in The Sims 3, but I might be wrong. I just remember not being as like able to create different body types, and that's something that I really appreciate in The Sims 4, even though they could still improve a lot of things. Like a lot of the Sims still look very I don't want to say normal because everybody is normal. I can't think of the word in English right now, but I'm sure you know what I'm trying to get at. Average, is that the word? I don't know, just like regular, what you would see in advertisement and stuff like that. And I also don't really like that whenever we get a new world in The Sims 4, all of the Sims tend to have like the in parentheses, perfect body types. They're all like super skinny and have like the tiniest waists ever. I feel like we don't really get a lot of variation with the townies The Sims 4 gives us. It's a little bit odd to me, but I don't know. I could like ramble on about this forever. It's just like something that I would like them to change. I also recently noticed that we have not gotten any new content for The Sims 4 apart from like kits, but I don't buy the kits because I don't support that. I think it's not really a good idea to put in the game when there's so much CC out there and they don't add any gameplay aspects or anything. I'm just like, whatever, like I'm not gonna get them. And I have noticed we didn't get anything new for like half a year almost, which is crazy. Usually we get like an expansion pack every half a year, but in between there would be gameplay packs and obviously back in the day stuff packs. God knows what happened to them. Just been replaced by kits. But it's just so weird, like the game feels so dull because nothing has been added to it, and I feel like I don't hear a lot about The Sims right now just because there's no new content to go off really. But yeah, if you've heard about any new packs coming out, let me know. I'm currently just not in the right mind space to be on Twitter a lot and like scroll through news. I'm just don't have the time for it, I feel like. Don't even know why. So if there was any news, I don't know if I would find out straight away, or maybe I would even just find out through you being like, hey, have you heard about the new expansion pack? And I'd be like, no, I have not. Even though I usually pick up on these things somehow. And yeah, I would be excited for a new pack. I kind of want some new content in The Sims 4, especially gameplay wise. I know that they're working on a big update, so that's probably why they put everything else on hold, but we shall see. We shall see what they bring us in the next year. But with that said, this video is coming to an end real soon here. Let me know if you like the CC, and if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you all next time. Bye!
Don't forget your first kiss. We were so damn high, we could touch the sky.